It's
Just.
There we go. Well,
Yeah, there was pretty bucks.
of an ER in Pittsburgh from the beginning of the shift to the end. And
And just.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
It's on as
in your
well.
face.
That's Justin, if he wants to come. Justin Ziegler is here, from Houston. He works with Molly in Houston. So Molly can't be here, Justin can instead. And Justin Murphy, is a guest.
You want to be a donor to Egypt right now?
Verbally abusive and they're sometimes physically abusive to staff.
Who is this, Justin Murphy? Yeah, we can, let's see.
And the range of things that are.
Hi, Justin. Did you want to join on as a panelist or just listen?
And then there are people.
I was just happy to observe, so I don't need to be speaking unless you
Justin
like
Murphy.
to. Hello.
Welcome to.
Yeah, you're welcome to come on if you'd like to screen because it's such a small group. But I just wanted to give you that chance in case you wanted to.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm just kind of interested in the topic, so I just wanted to catch up on what's going on.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, Anthony, how are you?
All right. So raise your hand if you have questions and then we'll promote you.
Thanks.
Sure. Justin will promote to a panel. Justin Ziegler, yeah, for Nathan.
Okay.
Oh,
So we have two Justins. Justin Ziegler, welcome.
Yeah.
Can't get to be right up.
Oh, and Jen's here. I gotta change our view, I think, so you can see everybody.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Here we go.
Hi,
There's
Jen.
Jenny and Justin.
Well, I'm incognito.
Incognito, I see, okay. Yeah, I think maybe we should have this committee meeting. We should all put bags over our heads and just be. What's going on?
Spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, I think we have everybody that we expect to attend, so give one more minute and then we'll start. Welcome, Anthony. See you.
great to be here.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Would you take some notes?
Absolutely.
Just roughly.
Absolutely.
4:05 p.m.
405.
We want to approve the minutes of December 3, 2025 meeting, and I think just you and I were at that meeting. So would you like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from December 3. All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
done. Okay, and Justin Ziegler and Justin Murphy, do you have any interest in saying anything at this point, or just remain quiet for the moment?
Thank you all. Molly wasn't able to be here today, so thank you all for letting me join in. And that's what I have to say.
Very good. Okay, so sorry.
Just wanted to make sure it was automatically recording. Oh, yeah. Okay, excellent. Thanks.
Are you tech whiz?
But I don't usually run them from that.
Aaron does know how to do this. You're the only one who does it.
I've been with him a lot. This is like for sure.
Right, that's the sad truth.
I have a bed in the closet.
So the first order of business, the old business, is to discuss the recommendation to the Board of Selectmen for the Housing Trust Fund ordinance. And were you able to meet with Peggy this morning?
It was, yeah. Give you
Okay, so why don't you give us our thoughts on that?
Sure.
Her thoughts on it.
We had one line that the committee had talked about, which was the point where we wanted to make sure it encouraged donations from private entities or individuals as well. And so the conversation was that the language wasn't that encouraging previously. So I went over that with Peggy.
She's okay with that?
We came up with, yes. So we reworded that to say sources. So it's the first section A, in addition to such sums as may be directly appropriated by the town for deposit into said fund, if any, the town is authorized to and shall deposit all other monies received in it for the purposes of affordable housing from whatever source such monies are received. The sources may include, but are not limited to, building permit fees, inclusionary zoning fees, municipal appropriations, grants, loans, monies received from state and federal agencies, and monetary gifts. And so the question we just earmarked here is when, once you have your review, I will send this to our attorney and ask her just to clarify legal language, gift versus donation, if both should be included or one or the other, what she recommends. So we did kind of rewrite that so that it didn't sound like everything was associated with state and federal agencies. So
Which is what we were talking about. That's what Michael was talking about.
yeah, so pulling that, the monetary gifts to the end after all the other, it kind of stands out a little bit.
Okay.
And then there was one other section, we had talked about what the money could be spent on. One of the lines stated preparation of updates to the town's affordable housing plan. And now that statutes have changed, the affordable housing plans under the statute are no longer required. So we suggested language.
Please explain that, Sarah. I know you know what it is, but I'm not sure.
So basically.
The new 8002.
Yes,
Yeah.
as part of the new bill, and I'll be able to give you some more updates on that. I have one session tomorrow with the Connecticut Association of Planners to have legal updates and things like that on the bill. We have a couple other ones scheduled throughout the month. SROG has one on the 29th, which you're all welcome to attend. It's a Zoom capability. I can send you that
I'm planning to be on
link. But so there will be a requirement now for housing growth plans. And that can either be done individually by a municipality or the region. And some of this and it's a longer process, yes, and where the COGS are given, numbers, projections of what the state determined to be appropriate numbers of increasing, your housing goals, increase your housing.
Within the COG?
Yes, and then it's going to be broken down into municipality, yes. That, we don't have any of that information yet. But because it will be associated with affordable housing, just looking ahead at that line, knowing that the affordable housing plan will likely get kind of merged in with this housing growth plan, we wanted to propose language to add either the town's affordable housing plan or any other plan required by the state relating to affordable housing, so that we can still utilize funding for
Okay with that.
whatever they decide to name it.
Okay.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
But as far as the bill, you have that down, so I can kind of give you updates on that after. And that was the only other suggestion.
Okay.
So if the committee is happy with that, Peggy's suggestion would be that now I send it to Carrie, Carrie Olson, our town attorney, to review and get some feedback. And then tentatively schedule this, Mark, you're not here in February, so the first Board of Selectmen meeting, March 10th. Which are Zoom. They're all Zoom. They used to be, Jen, they used to be the morning. Now, are they at 4:00?
That's correct. They're at 4:00 now.
Morning one is down 4:00.
Yes. No longer
Correct.
8. So does that sound like a good tentative schedule?
Sounds fine to me.
Okay.
So, I mean, Michael, you had the issues before and you're okay with it?
Yeah, my little sidebar comment. Really appreciate your ability to kind of craft some slightly different language and to work with Peggy and approve it. I really like it. It's hard to draft for the what ifs or the I don't knows. And I think you did that in both scenarios. Yeah. I mean, you kind of, it's flexible enough.
Yeah.
So that it.
Otherwise, we're updating. Which is not the goal. Talk about the housing trust fund. this is specific to monies, not land donations. So it's not like a land bank. That did come, no, it's just money. So that had, I had that in my note, and it might have been Francine, is it to be considered inclusive of land or property donations? And that would not be.
So can I follow up with that? Because I remember Francine making that point. If I'm a private property owner and I would like to have my property built with affordable housing, but say that I'm not interested in doing it, or I don't have the wherewithal or the expertise or the money. One of the ideas, I guess, could have been they could have donated the property to the housing trust fund. Now, what you're saying is that is not an option. They'd have to come up with some other arrangement.
Yeah, I think the likely way would be if you were gonna donate a parcel or property to the town for a specific purpose, that would be in some type of deed restrictions, right? That this, we're donating this based on, to be used as parkland or open space or affordable housing.
Okay.
How we pay for that affordable house, it may not happen if we don't have any other
But the distinguishing thing is
funds,
that
but.
we're not saying that in this housing trust fund, that we will accept directly land, whether it's
Correct.
a deed or whatever.
This is simply money.
Money.
To money.
Yeah, and in the same terms, if somebody wanted to make a donation, some type of tax deductible donation, they would have to likely donate to some private nonprofit entity who would then serve as that middle person donating.
Presumably, if you donate money to the town beyond your obligations and taxes, those are also a
I don't
donation?
think it is,
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't know.
I don't
have no
think
idea.
you can get a write-off for that.
You don't think so?
That is not my understanding, which is why people.
That's why we had to set up a separate fund through Madison.
Yes, they have served as that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have served as that, and I don't know, if
They are.
they're a viable
No, they
option for this
I think that,
setup, to
yeah, I mean,
formally designate them as.
I don't think
An
people are
option,
gonna be
but-
queuing up to give money right now anyway, so I think we're gonna be looking at, more traditional
Yeah.
sources, but we want to be able to be clear to do it, and we can accept that money now with the revision that you made.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I think one of the things that I think we should talk about a little bit more, and just see if Peggy had any issues about it, is how fund will be operated. Now, we make it very clear, I think, and you and
It
I
is
sat
very
down and talked about it, but this is owned by the town.
yeah.
So the Board of Selectmen is the ultimate
Authority.
on. But that on a regular basis, there would be a group formed, which would consist of the Affordable Housing Committee, but also representative of the Finance Department and everything.
And the town plan, yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's for specific expenditures, so
Yes.
it spells out that, the Board of Selectmen can handle spending some funding in that through the budget process, if they earmark these funds in the budget
They want
season,
to, yeah.
for certain projects. Those could include, investigation, appraisal, acquisition, construction, rehabilitation, some of the.
any of those, yeah, any of those.
Yep, acquisition of development rights, things like that. Those would not have to go to the committee. It's the
Well,
other,
the Board of Selectmen can spend the money any way they want, of course, they're the town's money. But I think what we're talking about in terms of the money that's in the fund, that would go through the committee making recommendations to the Board of Selectmen. So it need required approval by the Board of Selectmen, but they would not be engaged in trying to discuss, individual, we don't have guys coming up to the Board of Selectmen and saying, please give me some money for this. It would be on
yeah,
through
would like
through this
to have an
committee.
initiative.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the Board of Selectmen that way.
So like, for example, if, this, facilities study committee that comes out and there are certain properties that they're looking at for feasibility for housing or things like that.
Yeah.
If further analysis were needed on specific properties to help market that. Or to see number of units that could, septic fees, but things like that. In theory, that fund could be
For that,
paying for
pays
those,
for that stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
those
That makes
feasibility
sense.
studies.
Or anything, that's right, anything.
Yeah. There's no money, so that won't be the case.
Right.
I know.
Okay.
We don't know,
Everybody.
but that could be potential, right? So if something came out of that study, there could, I guess, be a potential that once the ordinance is established, the fund is established, then the town could inject money into that through an
Right.
appropriation process. And then use money from that fund specifically for that.
But once it's approved by the board, I think the three of us are gonna, each get $10 to start out, so we get something going. It's not a zero, not a zero.
It's not a zero.
I think we're okay with that, right?
This money in.
Yeah, there's money.
Where's money?
The wall.
Very small feasibility study, very small. So, okay, those are the recommendations from Peggy to change, and so we're okay with that. So the next step is Aaron will pass this on to the lawyer,
Yeah.
attorney, and then I think instead of, I don't want to, wait, so whatever she says,
I'll
you'll
let
send
you
us
know.
back. and-
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll send you the red lines based on Peggy and my discussion today. So that you have it, the track changes, and
Okay,
then that's what I'll send to Carrie. And then any further notes that she has, I'll pass along.
All right, because
So
I
that
think what we
you
want to
kind of
do
track
is,
what's happening.
if we may have, I'm going to be away in February, so I think we're going to, I'm going to suggest we just.
Yes.
Be in February. But March 10th, I think would be, let me just say that maybe we want to have a special meeting of the committee to review that before it goes to the board of selectmen. It may
If
or may
there's
not.
anything substantive,
Yeah, I mean, it may or may not, depending on what comes back from that. I don't expect to be seeing any big changes, but just in case, so.
sure.
We, maybe the week before, be able to
Sure.
sit down and have a conversation. We're not allowed to talk about it without a special meeting.
Yeah.
Meeting has to be called.
sure.
All right, well, thank you, Aaron, very much.
You're
for that.
welcome.
Yeah, that was great.
Thank
Okay, and then let's talk a little bit about 8002. This is a very interesting change. I didn't understand the part that you just mentioned before, Aaron, that actually Madison is going to get an assignment by the state, even though I thought it was through the COGS that the whole
It
area
comes
would
through the
be,
cog.
but that would be,
It is coming through the cog, and then there's an opportunity to argue or appeal that number.
okay.
And so,
But it will be a precise number. It's going to say, 632
yeah,
units.
OPM is coming up with the numbers.
Okay,
Really?
all right.
So I'm curious, I'm actually looking forward to this meeting tomorrow to
Yeah.
kind of hear what other people, some people have said, why don't we just post a number now? And come back. And, that's also gonna determine whether the town wants to participate in a regional growth plan versus an individual plan, where the burden is gonna lie. Some of the older drafts or what, the bill that the governor did not sign the first, time around had, it really did kind of it's going to assign more numbers to the communities in the cog that are likely more affluent area.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you
so,
worried? Worried?
I have no idea what's going to come
It's safe,
out
yes,
of it.
They're gonna first allocate it to the COGS, and then within the COGS, there'll be some sort of, you're not gonna go each.
Yeah, is it better to go all in with everybody else, or the municipalities gonna argue with each
Yeah.
other of who should have their,
No, so go to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how it's gonna, the COG is in the process, so they have received $200,000. And that can go towards staffing, a housing coordinator or, specialist within the COG to assist the municipalities in this whole process. And so, it's sort of a race, kicking off now that all these COGs are looking for these housing specialists for a limited budget. So we're looking for, I think we're seeking 9 unicorns in the state to come and be able to guide municipalities and assist planners and things.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
Career opportunity. Where's your career?
what happens. You know, and Scrog ended up, they didn't put all their money into just a full-time staff person. They reserved half of the funding for municipalities to have the ability to hire specific consultants for matters. And so I think that's nice that we'll be able to, one of them
Yeah.
is for the exploration of a shared fair rent commission.
Yeah.
So there is designated money for that to basically draft kind of template language that municipalities can kind of opt in. The legal basis for that.
And when they do that,
And I'm trying to
is
think
it
what's the
everyone in
other-
the cog would they envision?
I don't know, it's really who wants to opt in, because there aren't there fair rent commissions in some municipalities already.
I think there's a requirement if you had more than a certain
It's
number.
certain-
It is, but I don't know how
Population.
many exist
In
in
where?
other towns already. Cities must have, like, New Haven must have one.
Oh, New Haven has one. Killingworth actually has one. There's
I'm
Killing
trying
worth
to
has-
think what other, yeah, that's interesting.
So like Brantford
And
probably
another.
has one, they're probably in the cog.
I mean,
It's gotta be one somewhere, but
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's in the- no.
Oh, so is that New
Furthest
Haven?
east, yeah, that's the, Saybrook and that.
Yeah. yeah.
So I'm trying
Justin,
to, I
I'm
mean,
sorry,
I'm maybe a little slow here, but I mean, so in other words, the cog will receive a number, and then the towns will then meet with the cog and talk about whether they want to go with their own individual number or whether they wish to work.
Well,
with-
if they want to appeal that number,
Or
yeah.
appeal, or appeal.
And so I'm sure I'll have some feedback on
Yeah.
that. I think everybody's still trying to coordinate and see how this will happen. I think the deadline for us, I don't think we're getting numbers until next year. And I think the deadline for us to establish our housing growth plan is 2029.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's not, but
Okay, well, maybe.
it has started, yeah, our region is 2029, so it started, you know, the timeline has, summer of 2027 is the deadline for figuring out numbers. So we're all kind of waiting to see what OPM does and what is their basis for determining the numbers for everybody. We don't really have any of that
Right. They
information.
don't know
yet.
either, sure, at this point,
Yeah.
what they're based.
And I was gonna tell you, the funding, on-call consultant for, zoning questions, and, the Fair Rent Commission, and then the third one for the consultant is, putting together the legal framework to study the feasibility of creating a regional land bank. Effectively to use blighted properties, town-owned properties, things like that.
But that's a couple of years, so.
So those are the three projects that this on-call consultant, so half of that 200,000, so we have $100,000. I don't know how that's gonna be allocated to each
Not much money.
municipality.
No.
No. So we'll wait. I mean, Scrog has been very forthcoming with information. They're talking about it with the housing group. And then, yeah, we've got, CCM is putting out some guidance. What's the other one we have? I can't remember. I feel like all I've done is sign up for Zoom webinars to talk about the bill.
There'll be many more before you're finished.
As I get information and any kind of, you know, guidance, like summaries, things like that, that are easy to read through, I'll pass them along, so you can at least see the relevance.
And if it's
of the housing,
informational
yeah.
meetings, I think we might want to be represented. There's gonna be.
The Scrog one, definitely. That's on, the 29th.
February 29th or this month.
Yes.
February.
No, it's January
January.
29th, from 1 to 2:30, and it's a Zoom. I can forward that invite to you. That's open to all Scrog communities, encouraged, you know, anyone, administration down to volunteers, commissioners, staff, anybody's welcome to join that. And
I'm not available.
Okay.
Traveling. Yeah.
okay,
I think it might be worth just sitting in and hearing how kind of what
you
people.
got the link, Mark?
I do have the link. It's the Scott thing. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Did you want that, Anthony?
Yeah, what you just said,
Yeah.
that might be helpful.
Oh, you're not on Ben's show office emails? Just, all right, I'll send it to you too, Justin. In case you want to go.
If you're talking to Justin Ziegler, then great.
Justin Z, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, that doesn't happen that often.
What's the odds too, Justin?
Out of 3 people.
I know.
I have a brother, Justin, too.
You can call
You
it.
could invite it.
You can call it, yeah. So what I'm hearing is that the next 18 months, this is basically informational. Nothing's going to happen in any real sense for another 18 months to 2 years, I guess, right? I mean, nothing's going to be implemented or even finalized.
Yes,
it
we're
sounds
gonna-
like, you know.
We're just gonna stay
Yeah.
in touch with the COG and they're gonna slowly get this timeline together
Mhm.
for, what we can expect.
Okay.
The state has some work to do as well.
Yeah, I did go to one session, but it basically was the different advocates advocating.
I did too. It wasn't
Yeah,
very
yeah,
useful for practical sense. We did have a legal update through Casio, our zoning association in the state. And there are some challenges in the bill, just vagueness, which isn't a surprise. That happens in most bills. As far as authority of planning and zoning and the way they wrote, some of it relates to parking analyses and things from developers and whether or not commissions can question them and how, and based on what number of units, they went up to so many units and then skipped a number and then went to the rest.
Oh, I
And
didn't
so
get it.
if you have that magic number of units, what do you have to do to
There'll be
it?
no development
So there's like-
outside.
I was going to say, absolutely. Yeah.
It- other bills. And so I'm assuming I'll hear a lot more of that type of discussion tomorrow. Really how locally the commissions administer some of the other provisions in it.
Okay.
But the housing growth plan, we're gonna really heavily work with the county for now.
So the next comments, questions to Aaron or any other comments? Next issue here is just that we met with Carol Snow and we're going to be invited to be non-voting members of the they're working, they're talking about doing the so at least we will have a voice, not a vote. But I think that would be very useful just to keep us informed as to what's going on in terms of the changes in regulations. That too is going to be a year-long project, years long. Sure. When is there any thought about when that might be? The whole process.
It might be ambitious to say the end of this year.
Really?
It could be early spring, but it's not. I mean, we're starting to move on that.
You've hired a consultant.
We have a consultant and we're sort of in the process of reorganizing them. So the commission looked at a modified table of contents for our existing regulations. And what we're trying to do is migrate our PDF into an online codification system like the ordinances in the town charter are now currently on the website. But because there are many sections in our regulations that don't have like a subsection or they're just words. Yes, a paragraph here and there. We are going through now, myself and the consultant actively just kind of adding some edits to those. And then that reorganized document will go
This is
to the
existing regulations.
it's the existing regulations, no substantive changes, it's simply reorganizing all of the existing material into a clearer table of contents and just format. That would then go to the Planning and Zoning Commission to go through a public hearing process to adopt that reorganized regulation. So that as we're moving forward, going section by section, making edits, we all have the current set that we're working for. It will be migrated into this system online, and so everything can be tracked.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good.
So it's unfortunately a little more work in the front end of.
Yeah, but it's gonna make it easier in the long run.
But it will be better in the long run to
Yeah,
go through
absolutely.
this. So we'll hopefully get that.
Yeah, do we have any of these, 20 yards from the big oak tree in the corner of the street?
It's just, it's hard because, for us doing it up front, it also saves us some money from the consultants for this, getting this migrated online that they're not going through.
Right.
And I'm double paying consultants for both. So
Okay, yeah.
that's where we are, and then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of
Okay.
each section.
That would be fun. I can't imagine any more fun than that.
I know, I live for this stuff.
Okay, and the other thing is the ad hoc facilities committee, and that we have not had a lot of cooperation there. We tried a little bit, but what we're, I think, mostly interested in is one, I know, and they explained to us that there would be areas where they're going to be talking about housing
Yes,
and not specifically affordable, just housing. What would be appropriate, be considered by the town for housing.
yes.
That's, obviously, we would like to, be involved in that.
I can give you an update on that. So the
Please.
facilities committee should have a draft of that feedback from the consultants. They are presenting to the Board of Selectmen at their meeting on Monday night. So Peggy and I encourage you to go to that meeting. To listen to David Cadena, give that update. And then I have not gotten a copy of that study yet, that draft, I should say. But that will be interesting.
That's this Monday?
That's this Monday.
And that's, again, it'll be a 4 p.m.
No,
Oh,
Jen, that's a 7, right?
That's the night.
Correct. The Monday nights are still the 7 p.m. meetings. Let me just double check because I know there's a lot of meetings on Monday, so I want to make sure there weren't any time changes.
Yeah, 7 to 9. It's here or hybrid.
Correct.
Via Zoom
Okay.
to listen to it. And
Yeah, it's very, very much worth listening to.
that one, yes, that's a good one to attend for updates on that.
Crazy question. The link, that Zoom link, where would that be? Online at the?
Yes, right, so the agenda will be posted by Friday morning.
Okay,
And the link is, let me see if it's actually on here already. The agenda is not posted, but if you go to the calendar and you click on that Board of Selectmen, the link is always here. It's always the same.
So it'll be the same link.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can go right there and join the meeting.
And are these recorded?
Yes, they're live streamed on YouTube also. So the video will be
Because I have
posted.
some at night, but I could.
Yeah, if you, anytime you want to watch the videos of meetings, you just go to the Agenda Center for the board and that meeting date. And the agenda will be posted, the minutes if they're available, and then the media link will be next to it, so you can always watch.
Okay.
Great,
Thank you.
thank you.
That usually is posted the following day, the media link.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that.
Great, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, and 1/3 of the committee is not going to be available. So I
1/3.
recommending
1/3.
1/3 of
But
the
an important one.
I wouldn't say that. Just 1/3. It's just 1/3. And so I'm going to recommend that we cancel that meeting and then skip it until March 12th, which I'm sorry.
No, the 17th.
17th.
I've already taken
St.
it.
Patrick's Day.
Have you? Thank you.
I approve. Do we need a motion?
I concur.
Okay, yeah, okay, we did.
so I'll update that on the.
Yeah. if you would please.
Yep.
And then that's the end of our official agenda. Justin and Justin, do you have any comments, anything, or Jen, would you like to make any comments at this point?
Nothing on my end. Just, looking forward to when you guys come and present again in March, and, lots of moving pieces going on right now between budget season and facilities planning and academy planning. And so
I'm glad you said academy.
Academy.
I don't know if anybody attended the presentation sessions.
3 and
For the-
4.
Okay, so they're recorded.
Yeah.
There's a big block on the homepage for Expression of Interest Academy Building, and you can go and watch the presentations. Some of them involve housing, some of them involve affordable housing.
That's why I wanted to see 1 and 2. I
Yes.
went searching and I couldn't find it.
Oh, I can send you the link.
Oh,
So that you-
thank you.
You sent that to me as well. My wife went, but I had business meetings those evenings.
Yeah.
So I missed.
3 and 4 were good.
I do see, Economic Development Commission made a recommendation, like their comments, based on their consideration of the 4 ideas. And so I did want to just throw that out there, that if the committee did watch the presentations and felt that you wanted to provide any comments or feedback to the Board of Selectmen, you're welcome to do that as well.
I mean, just,
If it's advocating for affordable housing.
yeah, I mean, obviously, we're interested in better for the town if we think it can be some affordable housing in there, but I mean, they seem to be really kind of, maybe the hotel's a little bit more precise, but I mean, basically a lot of blue sky. I mean, it was like,
Well, yeah, presentation 3 that I saw,
Yeah.
and it was the general consensus of everybody around me that there was a lot of,
Which
that.
one was that?
it was a construction company.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. That's-
Yeah, there was
It
a lot
was-
of what ifs. Oh, we can talk about it. People are like getting a little bit
Right.
upset.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, no, you can't, we're not gonna talk about
Yeah,
it.
I mean-
It's gotta be in the plan.
So I think, I
Yeah.
think staff will likely be kind of going through and giving some just general feedback to the commission, permitting, zoning,
Yeah.
just general kind of land use related comments to the board. And I just wanted to at least let you know that EDC did kind of look at this from an economic development perspective.
Yeah,
If you
and
wanna
well, they
look
should.
at- Yeah.
Well, they should. I agree. I think from our point of view, I mean, and I'm not speaking for the committee, but I mean, I'm just from my point of view, we preferred somebody that had one of them that actually had some affordable housing, and even if the affordable housing is not 830G affordable housing, but less, the single, the studio apartments or the 1-bedroom apartments obviously are going to be less expensive than a 3-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom apartment. So, I mean, I think from that standpoint, but guys, anything forward?
Yeah,
I don't think I should take a position.
I didn't hear the presentations. My wife went to both and described them to me. Again, her biggest comment was that there was a lot of pie in the sky, uncertain plan. So
Right.
it's hard to evaluate.
Yeah,
When you
well,
don't-
presentation 3 was very uncertain. His answer to specific questions is we can talk about it. People didn't like that. Especially some of the board. Some of the board didn't like it either.
Yeah, so what,
Board,
yeah, what was the
academies, I mean, the hotel proposal was very specific.
Yes, like you said.
It was
Yeah.
good. That's why I want to see 1 and 2, because I heard one of those presentations did include, well, maybe both of them, but one sounded pretty good, is with housing in it.
Yeah.
But just want to hear it.
Yeah, well,
what are the next steps, given, again, the uncertainty of aspects or all of several of the presentations? What
I know.
what
I would
is-
like to resign.
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe-
that's what we're still working through, to be quite honest with you. We received the 4 presentations. I had a brief conversation with Peggy Lyons, and she said, as Aaron mentioned, she wants to get some feedback from planning and zoning and land use and all those sorts of things regarding the 4 proposals. Then what we're going to need to do is, as a board, talk over those 4 proposals, decide, do we want to present any of them to the public? If so, how many? In terms of as options for voting. And then, one of the things that hasn't been as heavily discussed yet, but is still going to be included as an option, is my understanding, is demolition and green space. So the RFQ that we went through, where we received these 4 proposals, we were specifically looking for developers to come to us with their proposals that would allow the property to be developed without the use of town funds. That's why the green space demolition option wasn't a part of those four proposals that we received during those special meetings. But that is an option that is still on the table. And ultimately, what it's going to come down to is a referendum vote where people in the town get to make a determination on the choice that's presented to them. So it really and truly won't be a Board of Selectmen decision as to what happens with that property. We'll put forth an option, and then the town will decide. The voters of the town, I should say, will decide.
I guess my question about what was next was more in response to, again, what I heard was there were at least several presentations that didn't give enough detail. So it's very hard as a voter, as a public, person
Well, I
to
think
make decisions.
Jen, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that once the boards thought one or more of them was okay, that they were going to ask for more detail.
Oh,
I thought that was the
Right,
case.
Oh,
right.
That's my understanding, that would go back out.
Okay, that was really my question.
Right.
So,
The thing is, we're not going to go back to all 4 and ask all 4 of them for more detail. That presentation was their opportunity to put their best foot forward, and, kind of show us what they had to offer. And if we, as a Board of Selectmen, then based on those presentations, felt like there was something there worthwhile to present to the voters of the town, then we could go back and ask for more in-depth information from a narrowed down pool, so to speak.
it's great, Jim. Thank you.
But it's a tough call. I mean, if I had been elected to the Board of Selectmen, I demand a recount before that comment was made, before you got to make a vote on that. It's going to be, whatever it is, there's going to be a lot of opposition to whatever he's chosen, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this is one of those situations where there is 0% chance of making everybody happy with the outcome.
0%.
And that's, but it's been a long and arduous process, like over a decade. I mean, maybe close to 2 decades of trying to figure out what to do with this building. So, we've just got to, we've got to put a pin in this one and come to a conclusion.
Agreed, yeah, but it's a tough call.
Yes, absolutely.
So, any other comments about County Zoom?
Nope.
Yep. Yeah, I think we good idea if we all saw all the, if we could.
Yeah.
So the recording, whatever. Do it. So unless there's some other comments, Jen or Justin's, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one. Stay safe this weekend. Snow's coming.
Justin Z and Justin N.
Both Justins.
All the Justins.
And your brother.
All the Jays.
Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe.
Did you see the hotel proposal?
What?
Yeah, I did. I thought.
Yeah, we need to-
Yes.
That's what
Just when I thought,
that was the most.
I'll be honest with you, just when I thought